Turn that on. Click that, take my glasses off and say hello. Hello everybody. Welcome to the Caylus 1303 live stream. I've turned the microphone on. If you can hear me and see me, please let me know in the chat. And if you're watching this live on Facebook, please drop a message in there as well. I'm just going to enable that chat to see if that's working. Facebook live comments, setting, chat, automatic, click, done. Right, so Facebook chat should be working as well. So there's a load of people joining in. Dan's here, David's here, the Mr. E is here, Paul's here. Who else is here? Johnny's here. Excellent. Oh, and Paul's here. Paul, who was here earlier on. All good audio and video. Yes, so thank you very much for joining me. Very excited. I will try not to get too carried away because the original Caylus is one of my favourite games of all time. It was my #1 favourite game for many years. I'm not going to rant. I'm not going to rave about it too much. I just absolutely love the game. And coming out, I think either this week or next week, might even be today, is the new version Caylus 1303. I was very honoured to help work on the new rulebook for the game, and this is a final version of the game. I got an early copy of it, picked it up at Essen, and tonight I'm going to be teaching you how to play the new version, and then we're going to be doing a 3-player playthrough. I'm going to switch over to the multi-camera setup and say hello to Arthur.
Hi there.
And to AJ.
Hiya.
Thank you very much to AJ, especially for coming all the way down from Bristol today at short notice, because two of the people who unfortunately were going to join me today unfortunately had to cancel at short notice due to a family emergency. So AJ got in a car, drove down here.
Stopped for McDonald's halfway down. Yeah.
Other fast food restaurants are available. Thank you to everybody for joining me in the chat. It looks like I need to authorise that Facebook as well, which is where, bear with us a minute, Facebook live comments, settings, done. Right, okay, yeah, so today, I think August, what are we in? December 6th, yeah. It's been a long day, Right, so anyway, thank you very much to Space Cowboys, obviously, for asking me to help work on the game. For providing me with an early copy and for helping sponsor this video. The video is also helped sponsored by my Patreon supporters. Thank you very much to everybody who supports me on Patreon. And for those of you that do, this is the monthly giveaway. So this month, one of my Patreon supporters is going to win a copy of Caylus 1303. If you're not a Patreon supporter and you want to support me, then please head over to the Patreon page, which you can see on screen. You might win a copy of this at the end of the month. Right. So, Caylus 1303, we have it set up and we're using the Scythe-inspired background picture, which actually looks very much like the board artwork itself. So we weren't sure if this was going to work or not because it means that you can't quite clearly see everything. But we've gone with a thematic map. So I hope that's okay. Now, Arthur, you've played the original game.
I have.
Half a dozen times. Mm-hmm. And AJ, you've played this version
Once.
A few months ago.
Yeah.
Yes, but I am going to be doing a full tutorial tonight. So the year is 1303. The king has decreed that he wants a castle built. The castle is going to be here. This is the building site, and we're all going to be not working together because this is a game where there will only be one winner. But we are sort of collaboratively building the castle over the course of the game, and we're trying to get as many points as we can get. Now the points in this game are represented by these tokens. I am going to be calling out differences between the original version and the new version, not just for Arthur's benefit, but there's a lot of people who are tuning into this video who have played the original game who want to see what's different. So we no longer have a score track around the outside. Scoring is now done by means of these points here. You will score points during the game for a variety of things, mainly building buildings. So when you construct these buildings on the board, you see that there's a number in the top right. That is how many points you will get for constructing it. Every time you contribute to the building of the castle, you'll get 5 points. There's a few other ways you can get points as well, but generally speaking, it's those two ways. At the very end of the game, every gold you have is worth 2 points, and that is the only end game scoring. Okay, so the only end game scoring is a gold bar is 2 points. Speaking of the end of the game, we now have a fixed number of rounds. There are 9 rounds in the game now, instead of before where there was a non-fixed number. And we're going to be playing through those rounds. Each round is divided into various phases, But before we dive into that, I'm going to go through the setup, which we've already done off camera, but I'm going to let you know what we've done. So we have these buildings. These are the yellow buildings. These were all shuffled and laid out at random. The original game had 6 pink buildings, which were at random. This time we have 9 yellow buildings. 8 of them are here, and 1 of them at random has been put up here. So there's a bit more variability in the setup. We then have these wooden buildings, okay? And there are 9 wooden buildings in the game. 1 of them at random was placed here and flipped over. So instead of it being on that side, which shows the cost to build it, it's already been built. So it goes on that side. And if you notice the icon here, that is telling us that in setup, that cannot have been the stonemason, which is actually there. Okay, so a random wooden building goes there, and another random wooden building goes there. Finally, we have the stone buildings. Again, 9 of them. 1 of them at random has gone here, flipped over to that side, and the other one goes there. So for those of you that know the original game, the road, which you've probably noticed by now, is now going from here up to the castle instead of down from the castle. But about halfway along, there used to be a gold mine, and it was pre-printed, fixed on the board. That is this tile here. So the gold mine still exists in the game, but it isn't always there. Instead, it's a random building that you will have, and the gold mine can now be constructed. So there's a lot more variability in the setup than there was before. We have the provost. There's no bailiff anymore. Well, there kind of is, but that's in a different place. This is the provost. That works in a similar way as it did in the base game, which I'll explain later on. And we have the castle up here, and we have the characters. We now have the quarry, and we have workers. For those people who know the original game, you probably have noticed by now there's no money. So money has gone from the game. There is now just the worker meeple as a resource that you spend. It's a worker placement game, one of the first worker placement games that came out. But now when you place your workers, they do the action of the building where you place them, but then the worker will go back to the quarry. You will not get your workers back at the end of the round. You will only get them back in the income phase. And in a 3-player game, your income is 3 workers. So if you're spending more than 3 workers every round, then you need some way of getting additional workers. Right. Any questions so far? Right. So what do you do in a round? Well, a round consists of a number of phases. I'm actually just going to check the rule book to make sure I get the name of these phases correct, because I do want to use the correct terminology. Phase 1, 4 phases. Phase 1 is planning. The planning is probably the most important phase, and that is where, starting with the start player, which we'll determine in a minute, we will go round and we will place our workers, as many as we want, one at a time, but you don't have to place all of them, onto an available building or up to the castle. So if I was the first player, I would place one, then you would place one, then AJ would place one, etc., etc. But you don't have to place all of them. You can pass whenever you want to. And when you place your worker onto a building, you do not carry out the action at that point. All you're doing is you're planning. So you're putting your workers onto the different spaces to indicate what you're going to be doing in phase 2, which is activation. In the activation phase, we start here and we go through every single building up to the provost. So if the provost was here, we would only activate the buildings to here, even if somebody had gone here. So the activation phase is where we go through the buildings in order, one by one, but in that order, the order in which you placed your workers is irrelevant. Yeah. They're always resolved that way up. Phase 3 is delivery. This is where anybody who went to the castle will have the opportunity to deliver batches of goods, which will get points and favours and other things. And then phase 4 is the stewardship phase, which I'm going to explain in a little bit, but this bit here is kind of phase 4. After you've done this, you'll get your income, the provost will move, we move the round marker on, and then we carry on. Yep. Right, okay. Isn't the accent in pro in provost? Provost? Provost?
I have no idea. I don't even know what the word means.
I did look it up at one point because I wanted to know what a provost was.
Is it a Scottish thing?
I'm not sure. Anyway, please let me know in the chat what the definition of provost is, and how you pronounce it. But the Mr. E says it's so provost. So
Right.
we'll say provost, and if it's wrong, I'll come and find you. Right, let's go back now to phase 1, the planning phase. I mentioned that you place your worker on any of the buildings, and you can place your worker on any building as long as it's empty. There cannot be 2 workers on the same building, and you can go on any of them. You can go on any of these 4, you can go on any of these, you can even go there on round 1.
Unwise.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
Don't do that, but legally, you could.
Yeah.
You can go on any available building. If you go on a building that is owned by somebody else, they will get 1 point. And I'll explain how you get ownership of buildings later, but if you go on a building owned by somebody else, you get 1 point. If you go on your own building, you don't get the point. It's only if you go on somebody else's building. When it's your turn to place a worker on the board, you could pass.
Mm-hmm.
This is what the bridge is for here. The first player to pass, let's say it's AJ, puts the house there. That does 2 things. AJ will get the first player marker, which means she'll be going first in the next round of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It also means, both me and you, if we now want to carry on placing workers, we have to put an extra 1 in the quarry just to be able to place.
Yeah, you had to pay money, I think, in the
It used to be money in the old game, and it also, in the old game, it used to increase the more players dropped out. Now, it is just a flat +1 as long as somebody has dropped out. The planning phase continues until everybody has dropped out. Right, let's go to activation. We activate the buildings in order, and I'm going to explain them in what might seem a random order, but it isn't. I'm going to explain these ones first because these are really simple. If you go here, you will take the appropriate resource from the supply and add it to here. We all start with 2 wood, 1 food and 1 stone. Cloth is also available and gold is available later on. So this is, you take 1 wood from the supply. This is you take a food. This is you take a stone. This is you take a food. This one's also easy. This is you get 2 points.
Yep.
Some of them allow you to convert one thing into another. So this one here is convert 1 stone into 4 workers. So you take 4 workers from the quarry and put them onto here. This one is convert any 1 resource into 3 workers. And this is convert a worker into a resource. That is in addition to the 1 that you've spent. So I would activate the building by putting the worker on there. And then when it comes to activate, that one goes to the quarry. And then I spend another 1.
And if you haven't got
to
one,
get a
tough.
resource.
Presumably.
If you haven't got one, tough. So that's those. That's fairly simple. Right. These 2 spaces here is the carpenter. These 2 spaces allow you to build any one of the wooden buildings by paying the cost indicated in the top left. When you build the building, so let's say I decide to build that one, it goes in the next available space on the road. You pay the cost indicated. You get the points immediately, as shown in the top right, and then you put one of your houses on it to show that you own that building. That is how you get buildings owned by you. Nobody else can ever take ownership of that building. But now if either of you 2 go on that building, just placing your worker on there will get me 1 point.
Yep.
Even if it isn't subsequently activated in the same round. Every game will play out differently based on the buildings that people will choose to build, and because of this new version, the building that's there, and up there, that will change the way that the game plays as well. So these 2 will enable you to build the wooden buildings. How do you build the stone buildings? At the start of the game, you can't. This here is the stonemason.
Okay.
Once this is in play, people can then use this to build the stone buildings. If this comes into the game early, there will be a lot of these. Sometimes, depending on the style of the game or the choices of the players, this building might not come in early. So we have had confirmation that it is provost, and it is it's like a Scottish mayor.
Oh.
So there we go.
Thanks, husband.
Thank you very much. Right, so that's these buildings. Now down here we have some interesting ones. I'm going to start with this one because it's the first one, right? This one is spend a wood to get a favour. There are 3 ways to get favours in this game. He's looking. 2. 2 ways to get favours in this game. No, 3. There is 3. Sometimes there's 4. I'll come on to favours later on, but this is spend 1 wood to get a favour. This one here is spend 1 cloth, and what you do is you put your house over one of the yellow buildings. So any one of these yellow buildings, you spend a cloth, you put your house over the building. What you're going to do is in this step here, that building is going to be turned into a residence. And what that does is it removes the yellow building effectively from the game. It now becomes your residence. It will give you 1 extra income. So remember, the income happens here, and it's 3 workers each. If you have a residence, you get an additional 1.
Yeah.
So that's what that does. That is converting the yellow buildings into residences. This one here is what makes Caylus one of the best games ever designed, and this is moving the provost. So I mentioned earlier on, we only ever activate buildings up to the provost. If you go on this space here, you may move the provost up to 2 spaces in either direction at no cost. So if the other players are at the end of the road, you're moving back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because then that messes them up, because they've placed workers there and they don't get to use. If you're at the end of the road, you might want to move him ahead. Okay? That is moving the provost up to 2 spaces for free, but then we have the bridge. We resolve the players' actions on the bridge in order in which they pass. So in this case, AG would have to act first, then Arthur, you would go, then I would go. And in order, each player can move the provost up to 3 spaces in either direction, but you have to spend workers to do so. So this is free. This is moving it by spending workers.
1 space per worker?
1 space per worker.
Okay. Won't be doing too much of that then, I suspect.
Negotiation and discussion and threats are allowed and encouraged at this point in the game. Okay? For the purpose of the video, I'm hoping we have an interactive game, but it really does depend on your playgroup. You can have a playgroup where nobody does this at all.
Sure, yeah.
Or you could have it where people are doing it right from turn 1.
Yeah.
I am probably going to be a little bit more evil than I normally would, because I do want to highlight how this bit works in the game. That's fair warning, right?
Yeah.
But that's that. We've kind of mentioned these already. I'll mention these when they come into play. I'm not going to go through every single one of them now. Once we've done all of the buildings up to the provost, we then go to the castle. Whoever went to the castle first would place their worker on the number 1 spot. The second person to go to the castle would go on the number 2, and then on the number 3. We don't all have to go to the castle in a turn, but once we start resolving the castle, whoever was on the number 1 spot may deliver as many batches as they want, and a batch is 3 goods. 1 of them must be food, and the other 2 must be different and not food. So it's 3 different goods, 1 of which must be food.
Yeah.
And a good here can be gold, if you want it to. Every batch you deliver gets you 5 points. And you can deliver as many batches as you want to and can. After we've done all of that, the player who delivered the most batches gets a favour. I've mentioned that there are 3 ways of getting a favour in this game. One of them is simply here. The other one is here. If 2 or more people deliver the same number of batches in that turn, it's whoever delivered those batches first. So if I was there and you was there, and I delivered 1 batch and you delivered 1 batch, I would get the favour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you delivered 2 batches, you would get the favour because you delivered more than me.
Yeah.
Okay, so the tiebreaker is the order in which people go into the castle. Right. The third way you'll get a favour, I'll mention it now, is there.
Yep.
And I'm going to come on to these in a minute. In fact, let's come on to them now. So this is the stewardship phase. I've mentioned how you convert the yellow buildings into the residences. That's this space. It's the only space where you can do that. They actually convert into a residence at this point, which is effectively end of the turn, or end of the round. This bit here is you can convert any green building, so any residence, into a monument. These are the monuments, and we're playing with all of the monuments. You don't take any out. I've arranged them in victory point order. But to build a monument, you need all of the resources shown in the top left. Now be careful with these because some of these people have misread these by looking across the table. So that's wood, that's stone, and if there's a number in there, that's how many you need.
Okay.
All right.
Okay?
They do look very similar.
Yeah. You can only build a monument over a residence. So if you haven't got a residence, you can't build a monument.
So you'd have to take this action twice to do that?
Nope. This, you don't have to take an action to do this.
Okay.
So converting a residence into a monument is like a free step.
Okay, it's a free action.
It happens at the end of every round.
Mhm.
But the order in which it's resolved is this one first, then this one, then this one, then this one. That is really important when two players want to be building the same monument,
The same 20-point building.
the same 20-point building. We've saved up our resources,
Yep.
but my house is here and yours is over there.
Yeah.
Okay? So that step there is resolved from here, moving upwards. Josie Cochrane's here. There's no money. Mind blown. Yes, there is no money. Well, there kind of is. This is now kind of worker and money combined. Right, so that's the monuments covered. Some of these you'll notice get you extra income. That one gets you a favour when you built it. This just gets you a massive amount of points. Right. Now on to the other very new exciting bit with the game, and that is the characters. The game comes with 12 characters. We have chosen 6 at random, which is these 6 up here. This was done off camera while you weren't looking, because it's 3 more than the number of players. The game plays from 2 to 5. So if we were playing a 5-player game, we would have 8 characters. Each character is a special ability that you have while you own that character. We're each going to start with a character, and then the other 3 of them will go on the board here. How do you get a new character? That is when you take a favour. So, whenever you get a favour, which remember is here, placing the most batches, or by building this, you've got 2 choices. Choice number 1 is gain the ability of one of these buildings, and if we're in rounds 1, 2 or 3, it's this. If we're in rounds 4, 5 or 6, it's either of these 2, and if we're in rounds 7 to 9, it's either of these 3. Okay?
Do you mean you put them out on the board?
No, you just do what it says. You just say, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Okay? And take one of the 3 characters that's on the board. So that is your first choice of a favour. You use the building and you take a character. You do both of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Your other option is you steal a character from another player. Okay, so it's either that, or steal a character from another player. So the characters will move around. There's no limit to how many characters you can have. Right, let's go into the characters. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom in on the camera, and we're going to move the central building to one side just for a minute, and we're going to put the characters here as I am going to go through them. Remember, we are using 6 out of the 12 characters that come with the game. So we've already talked about that this game has a lot more variability than the previous edition. Well, this is even more. I mean, we could play this exact same setup now with 6 different characters and it'll be a different game. Right, let's talk about this one first. This is the foreman. This is very simple. Every time you deliver a batch of goods to the castle, you get 1 extra point. So your batches are worth 6 points instead of 5. Obviously, you want this character if you're going with that strategy. This is the day labourer, he says, looking at AJ to see if I've got it correct.
I think it was day labourer. Yeah.
I think this is the day labourer.
Yeah.
This is also very simple. It gets you an extra 1 worker as income at the end of each round. This is the architect. The architect gives you an extra 1 point every time you build a wooden building, a stone building, or a monument. So all of these are at +1. This is the thief. Whenever you place a worker on a building owned by another player, that player does not get the victory point. This one is the early riser. This is a game changer. Okay, there's a few of these that are just nice to have, and this is a game changer. Before the first player takes their turn at placing a worker on the board, you may go, no, I've set my alarm for 5:45 instead of 6 o'clock, and you go first. But it costs you a worker. So you have to spend one of your workers in there, but you go first.
And how does that affect the rest of the sequence?
The rest of the sequence it then goes to the first player
and you carry on.
and the clockwise. So if I was the first player and I had this character, I could say, I'm going to use this, get up early, spend that, place a worker. Right, now I'm going to have my normal first play and do that. So the first player can use it. But if you take the first player because you want a specific space, you need to be aware the early riser is in the game. This is also a game changer because this is once per round. You may turn the card sideways to indicate you've used it to allow you to place a worker on a building that's already occupied by another player, but not yourself. So these two really change how the game plays. Okay, so they're the 6 characters that we're using. And at this point, we're going to decide who the first player is. Nearest one to Percy.
Percy the provost. Yeah.
Percy the provost.
Provost.
Black.
Me.
So you are the first player,
Great.
which means in reverse player order, we get to choose starting characters. So I'm going to zoom back out.
So I'm last, so I get first choice, yes?
Yes, you are the last player. So which of those characters would you like? If there's any questions in the chat, please let me know. No money in characters. This is a new game for sure.
Well, despite what you said, I'm taking this guy.
Right, which one do I want?
Are we putting these in any particular place?
Yeah, I think if you just put it there right up against the edge of the board. There we go. Well, I'm thinking that this is probably not going to be useful at the start of the game, but would be useful later. I'm going to take the architect. Which one would you like?
I think from my last play, I was getting a bit stuck with other people going in places where I wanted to
Okay.
go, so I'm going to take this
So
guy
these
here.
3 become available. They will never be any more. So once these 3 have gone, those spaces will remain empty for the rest of the game.
So although there's no limit on how many of these characters you can have, in fact there are only 6.
There are only 6 in a
So
3-player game.
You've pragmatically limited to 6. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you do get 6, I will be nicking some back off. So.
if I've got 6, you won't be nicking anything.
What haven't I explained? I mean, I haven't explained some of these buildings. We'll come into those later on.
When you go into these places here, so if, for example, if you go here and you can no longer, you can't pay because you've miscalculated your
The worker
workers,
goes here.
the worker does still go
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So you lose them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Okay.
question. In many games, you have like a mitigation if your turn didn't work out. So there's no mitigation.
Nope, it's your fault if it didn't work out.
Yep. Okay.
One of the common mistakes that people make with the original game is they go, okay, well, I'm going to go here to buy a cloth,
And you need the cloth.
and then I'm going to go here to spend the cloth.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. Mentally, you think, okay, I've done that in the right order. But then when it comes to resolution, you go, oh, wait a minute, I haven't got the cloth yet.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
I will get caught by that at some point.
yeah, well, the first
Yeah,
17 times you make that mistake, we'll let you off. But the 18th time, we're not going to let you get away with it. You can zoom in a bit more. I could zoom in a bit more. Only a bit more. Like there, probably. Yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah, so for those people who've seen the original game, there is no the bailiff that used to track the way that the game ended. That the bailiff has gone, but the bailiff is actually one of the characters in the game, and it allows you if the bailiff was in the game, it would act here, and it would allow you to move the provost one space in either direction. That's another game-changing character, but we're not using it in that game. Alvin's here, Cisco's here, Graham's here. Thank you very much for joining in on the Facebook chat. I think we're ready. If you've got any questions at all, feel free to ask them during the game. As I say, we'll go through what each of these do once we get to the stage that we're building. But other than that, I think we're ready. So round 1, phase 1, planning. Go on, go there and then go there.
I think I'm going to go. Oh, this is difficult. Let's get some wood.
Okay. So if we lie them down just through the overhead
Sorry, yeah.
camera. Well, I'm going to go on this carpenter here. You're going to go on that carpenter, are you?
We need longer arms.
That's where I was going to go.
And I'm glad I went there then.
Yeah.
I'm not building this turn.
Nope.
Nope. I think I'm going to grab.
So in doing that move, I'm presuming this symbol is any one resource.
That's any one resource, yeah.
I am going to go there, but I'm not going to spend it.
You're going to go to the market?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go... I'm going to go there and get a stone, I think. That's where I was going to go. You're sitting to my left, yeah. You're going to the places that
Then it's your fault.
Yeah, it is my fault.
I think I'm going to deliver first round.
As long as you've got 3 different resources, and one of which is food by the time you get there,
Yes,
which you will have.
I will have, yep.
So I'm going to go there. Black meeple is a bit hard to see on the graphics. Is there anywhere we can put it where it's easier to see? Maybe if we put it in the top left. How about that? Let me know in the chat, does that make things easier to see if we put them in the very top left of
So trust me to pick the
the
difficult
tiles.
colour. I think I'm going to pass. Can you move my house up,
So that goes to
please?
there.
Thank you.
You keep the first player marker,
Mm-hmm.
which means if I want to carry on, I need to pay 2 things, which I'm not prepared to do, so I'm going to drop out as well.
Likewise.
Yeah, if you hadn't done, I was going to drop out. Okay, so phase 1 is over, and we now do resolution or activation, starting here, moving forward. So I'm first. It's always good to get into the habit of putting the worker into the quarry and then carrying out the action. So I'm going to build, and I am going to build the stonemason, because why not? So I spend 1 wood and 1 of something else, which will be food. And I put the stonemason on the board here. That gets me 5 points because I've got the architect. That goes there. I'm going to take my 5 victory points and put it face down here, so you don't know how many points I've got.
We do not know you have 5 points.
Nope. And then I'm going to magically turn it into a 10. And that's me done. So we're onto the bridge. Would you like to move the provost backwards or forwards?
I have to pay for it, don't I?
You have to pay 1 per space.
Do I want to be evil?
The problem is, yeah, I mean, it depends.
I'm not going to yet. I don't have enough people yet, I don't think. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I could, if I wanted to, spend 1 to put it back here and force Arthur to spend 1, but then he might be evil and move it back there.
Might do.
But all I'm doing is I'm costing her as a worker. So at this stage in the game, despite what I said earlier, I'm not going to.
That should be good too.
You don't need to, so that's that done. Right, black, you get 1 wood from the supply. Yellow, build a wooden building.
All right. So I need to keep a stone for that thing.
Mm-hmm.
What have we got left? Because I was going to build that stonemason, but of course you did.
That. In fact, you can build any of them.
Hmm.
Hidden trackable points. Not sure how you feel about it. I'm in the same boat as you, but it's okay.
We
Trust
had that discussion earlier, didn't
We
we?
did.
Yeah.
But Joe's very similar opinion to
Yeah.
me.
I think at this stage it's got to be this one, which is. Oh, we put.
So it goes here, goes on the next available.
We put my building.
Just remember, there is a rule I haven't mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to matter, so I'll tell you at the end of this round.
I'm going to pay.
It's not going to matter.
I'm going to pay hammer.
Yeah, wood. And you get 3 points. There you go. Have 3 points.
It's a secret.
Next.
I'm going to spend a stone for 4 workers.
Okay, you get 4 workers. I get myself a food. You can spend a worker to get a non-gold resource.
Cloth.
I get a stone.
I get a ham.
And that is activation done. So now we do the delivery. You got 3 different goods, one of which is
I'm doing a
food.
ham, a stone, and a wood.
Yeah. So you built 1 batch,
1.
which gets you 5 points.
Woohoo.
And then because you built the most batches, you can have a favour.
Which is
Either
doing
that and
that,
take one of those 3, or steal
stealing
Arthur's
somebody else.
character, but not mine. Can't steal mine, it's in the rules.
I'm taking another cloth. Why not? Purple is
So it costs you a worker.
drawing me.
We're not there. You can only use this in rounds.
Okay, in which case I'm not
4 to
going to do
6.
that yet. I'm running low on workers, but I am going to take the thief because you've got houses out now.
I do. Yeah.
So
you're foregoing this?
I am foregoing that because that's, yeah.
Okay. Now we do this bit, but nobody did that, which means we do that, and now we get income. So it's 3 for us 2.
4
4 for Arthur. 1, 2, 3.
Throw my people across the room.
6 back. Now, so the bit I didn't mention is the provost. The provost will move to just before the last building in the chain. And the chain is broken here, so it moves to there. Okay, so you work out where the chain ends, and then it moves just before the last building in the chain.
Okay.
Yep.
Another slight change to this version, and this is very, very rare that it happens, but in the original version of the game, there was exactly the right number of spaces on the board to build every single building. In this version, there is not. There is 1 fewer space. So you cannot build every single building in the game now. There's not quite enough spaces. That has only happened in the dozen times that I've played this once. Right, move the round tracker on, and we are now on round 2.
And I'm still first. So we push the houses. Oh no, they're already down.
They're already down. Yep.
Right. So
now you have a cloth.
I have a cloth.
You do. You going on here?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to go on here. Yep.
I need more people, so
You
I'm going to
do.
go there.
And I need now. It was all nice and easy at the start. I'm going to go there. And I'm going to get a drink. This is thirsty work, this thinking.
I'm still recovering from the salt in the fries earlier.
Or the fries in the salt.
Well, I'm a stone.
Wrong one.
Wrong thing.
Nobody's going on the nice juicy buildings yet.
What, the buildings that might not be in play this time?
Yeah, they're the ones.
Correct.
Let's get some. I want some stone as well, and because I've got my I can't remember what she's called.
Journeyman?
Journeyman.
Is that the journeyman?
Journeywoman.
Journeywoman.
I'm going to go there as well.
Yeah.
So you can do that once per round, or
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she flips
I mean,
sideways.
yeah, you could flip it sideways, or we know you've used it
Yeah.
because that's on there.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to go here. So if you're watching this in the chat, I was going to say, if you've got any questions, Lorenzo says, wasn't Caylus the first worker placement game ever invented?
I don't know if it was the first, but it's certainly very early.
It wasn't. Caylus is probably the game that put worker placement on the map, but if you want to go back through my old podcasts, about 2.5 years ago, I interviewed Richard Breeze, because Richard Breeze is actually the designer of the mechanism worker placement. He did a game called Keydom in 1999, I think. That was the first worker placement game. So it was Richard Breeze, designer of the Key games, that actually came up with worker placement. Colin's here. Hi, Colin. Thank you for joining in. Colin loves this game.
Does this one include wood in that?
Yes,
I can't see it from
it's
here.
wood, food, cloth or stone. It's not gold.
Cool. And a wood.
And a wood, yeah.
Cool.
Definitely a wood.
In which case, I'm going to go here. Because you would still get to go first, wouldn't you, for that?
Yes.
Yeah, so...
So I would get first choice. Right, well, since you've gone on there, and since that's happened, I think I'm going to go here. I'm going to delay things a bit.
I'm stopping.
Are you stopping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wrong colour.
True. I'm blue. Right. So, how many workers you got left? Oh, you got loads. Where did they come from?
I picked up 4 from there. I picked up 3 from somewhere else.
Oh dear, you could carry on playing for ages.
And you build out early, so I had some left over.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, and I'm going to be getting... Okay.
I'm too frightened to go up anywhere near here.
No,
Especially
that's what I'm thinking
when
about.
you've got the excess workers, I'm slightly concerned if I go
Yeah.
anywhere near there.
I mean, I could use this to move it to there, but then Arthur could just
Move it back.
move
Yeah.
it back. So that's the bit that I'm worried
But
about.
that would cost me workers.
It would. So I think you've passed again, so you keep the first player marker.
Yeah.
No,
I'm a bit too cautious, I think. Well, I've only got 1 meeple left. So.
you could snap up some really good stuff here by staying in, because you've got so many more workers. But if I stay in, that's going to cost me all of my workers, and I'm then definitely passing. Okay.
Live life on the edge.
Oh, it's so difficult. Okay, I'm going to stay in. I'm going to spend my 1 worker to stay in, and I'm going to go there.
That is interesting.
But I have to pass on my next turn. Oh, Joel's here. Hi, Joel. Bus was the first ever. Was it? Was Bus before Keydom? Interesting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Keydom was the first one. That's the one that's regarded as the first one. Phil's here. You missed the start. How far are we in? We're on round 2. So you've not missed much. You missed, obviously, the tutorial at the start and round 1.
So what was your first ever worker placement that you played?
Probably
this one?
Caylus. Yeah. Yeah, because I hadn't played Bus or...
Right, so I have to pay a worker because I'm playing a worker there.
or Keydom. But Bus was 1999 as well.
Yeah, I got into games a lot later.
Right.
So my first one was Coal Baron, and it's
Okay.
definitely got a place in my heart now.
Yeah.
And you're still in.
I am still in, but I now have to pass. So that is me. That is me done. Whereas you can stay in for ages. Colin's saying that the components look a bit better than the copy you was playing. Yes, because that was printed out on a home printer.
Yes.
It's the same artwork. Nothing's changed as far as the artwork goes, but obviously it's on nice card components now.
Yeah, it feels really nice. It's got a good quality to it.
Andrew
definitely.
Bosley artwork. Same guy who did Tapestry and a few other games recently.
I'm loving the resources as well.
Resources
Yeah.
are nice. Yeah, they used to be cubes in the old version. good old coloured cubes.
How trustworthy are you?
So while Arthur's thinking, I'll tell you a funny story. Because, as I say, I loved the original game of Caylus, and most of my friends knew that I loved it more than anything else. So I hosted a little games weekend at mine, probably about 15 years ago, and I did a contest. I had these game components from 10 different games, and you had to guess what game they were from.
Yeah.
And one of them was a purple cube. And everybody went, Caylus?
Really?
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
my love for the game was so well known, and the purple cube in Caylus was quite a thing that it was just, so.
Okay, hang on, we get delivery, which cost me another worker.
Cost you a worker.
I'm going
Yeah.
to make you feel a bit old now. I was 18.
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Right, so we're done with the planning phase. We are now into the activation phase, and we start here, at the start of the road, and off you go. Spend a wood to get a favour.
Right, remind me what my options are.
You can either do that and take a character, or steal a character from another player.
Okay, I think I'm going to do this.
So Jolie's saying Keydom is an auction game. Okay.
Which costs
I
a
don't
worker, I believe.
Yes, that costs a worker.
I can have whatever I want, but not gold.
Not gold.
What have I got? I'm picking up ham and spending another worker and ham. So I'm picking up a lot of ham. I'll have a stone, I think. No, I'll have a wood.
Let me know if you need me to be a hand from this side of the game. So I am.
So this is and I get to pick a work.
You do,
pick a thing. So I've forgotten what these are.
He's the early morning guy where you pay a worker to go first.
Yeah.
And that one you get
Extra
a point when
for
you deliver a good.
Every batch you deliver is worth an extra point. Andy's here. Thank you very much, Andy, for joining in. And yeah, Andy played this at Manacon. I've been doing demos of this at UK conventions for the last 6 months. So
And this guy then goes to the graveyard where.
lots of people have had a chance to try it.
Yeah.
Spend a cloth
Cloth to put my house
over
on
any of the yellow
the
buildings,
yellow one.
which is any of these, and it will convert into a residence later in the round.
Just because people seem to like going to that one.
That's the thing. So interestingly, it's
So
which building do
so
you
you're
want to remove
So you're
from the
going to take
game?
it out of the game, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is all right because this building's in.
It's come out now, yeah.
So by removing that, you're encouraging
Or do
people
I
to
want
use
to-
this one.
Or should I? Actually, I'm going to take out one of the.
Okay.
We've got a stonemason, so
Yeah, we do.
let's go for that one.
Right. So here, I'm going to build a wooden building. Now I need to have a look at what else I'm doing this round. So I need to make sure I keep that. I'm going to get another one of them. So I think I'm going to build. I'm going to spend this. I'm going to spend a wood and a food, and I'm going to build this here marketplace. And that normally gets me 3, but because of my architect, that gets me 4 points.
So I'm the first one to mess up in this round. If I go here and build something, I have nothing to get my meeple. So I'm going to forfeit that one when I come to it.
Okay. Oops.
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 Yeah.
Right, so it's me now moving the provost up to 2 spaces. Now, nobody's here, so I'm just going to play it safe and I'm just going
Thought you would.
to put it there. Would you like to move Percy?
No, thank you.
I'm not going to move Percy.
No.
Would you like to spend 3 workers to do absolutely nothing?
No.
Okay, so I get myself 1 wood.
And
You're gonna forego?
I'm going to forego that one because I'd rather have my meeples.
I'm going to spend a stone to get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What a twonk.
Yellow gets a food. Black
It's paying a wood
to get
to get 3
3.
workers. Thank you.
yellow. Spend a worker to get a good.
Now I'm going to need 3 different things.
3 different things, one of which has to be food. Doug's here. Sorry to join in late. No problem.
So I'm going to have to pick up something like stone. Oh, I'm picking up stone, aren't I?
You're picking up stone here, yeah.
I'll have a cloth.
Have you spent a worker?
No.
Yeah, you need to spend a worker. So then you 2 both get a stone.
Awesome.
Arthur, you also get a food.
Never enough ham.
I get 2 points. There we go. And then we go to deliveries.
Right, so I could make 2 deliveries. No, I can only make 1. So
Yeah.
I shall make 1.
1 delivery, 5 points,
Shall we do them?
If you wouldn't mind.
and you get a favour.
5
What would you like to do with that favour?
So again,
It's
it's
that
this
and that, or steal one of AJ's characters, but not mine.
Why can't I steal yours?
It's in the rule book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to spend another worker,
If it's not in the rule book, give me a pen, and it will be in the rule book.
and I will
Fairly soon.
gain I'll gain a stone. And I'll
And
take
that. That's
Oh, and
all the
because I made a
characters got.
delivery, I get another.
Oh, you do, yeah. Every time you
Ooh,
deliver
fancy.
goods,
Okay.
you get a point. Right,
Thank you.
we are done. So now we go to this
Well,
bit
you
here.
should get. Did you do a delivery? You should have got 5. Oh, you've already
I
got
did,
your
you
5
got the
points.
5.
Yeah.
So we do this bit. So this building here is no longer a carpenter. You've evicted the
I evicted
carpenter,
him.
and you said, "I'm going to live there."
Hmm.
Monument building technically does happen now. So if you wanted to, and you had the resources,
I don't think I
No.
have those
you need gold for
resources.
all of them, and nobody's got
Yeah.
any gold yet. So then we do this bit, income. Now mine, I'm still on 3.
I'm on 4.
You two are both on 4 because your residence is giving
Yeah.
you an extra 1.
Back in the game with more.
Is it coming to retail or is it Kickstarter? It's coming to retail,
People said it was today.
and the release date was today. So yeah, it's like I'd planned this video for the time of release. It's like I hadn't. I just said to Space Cowboys, I'd like to do this early in December, and they went, yeah. Friday night is the best night, and then they found out that today's the actual release day. So go out and buy a copy right now. Drive to your local game store, wake them up. We are on round 3.
So we are.
AJ's still the first player.
Yeah.
How many workers have we got?
Many. Fewer.
I've turned the tables.
Yeah. I had other priorities this time.
I'm just going to check my victory points.
Got a total of some. Right, I have enough to build stuff now. After my disaster last round.
Right, so what's my plan this round? Is go there.
The other one's been eliminated.
It has.
Kind of answered Tom's question
What's that?
about how worker income's determined. It's here depending on how many players you've got.
Yes. So in a
So 2 to 4, it's 3 players, and you get extra ones from
Various
These.
things.
residences and that character there, which is the
Day labourer.
day labourer.
labourer.
Day labourer, yes. Oh. So I'm going to go here. After much,
Deliberation.
yes. Danny's saying that they planned the release of the game to match the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Asmodee totally did that. This is weird. Round 3 and everybody's been scared to use these.
That's because of your statement at the beginning of the game.
It's because I played it last time and somebody did exactly the
You've
same
even,
thing.
you've even scared
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. How many workers have you got?
6.
Okay.
Oh. I think I'm going to use my ability and go here to try and get some. I'm going to pile my workers up.
Okay.
So I'll move him over to this side
I'm
there.
going to go there.
We'll have to pick up wood.
The market.
It's not very attractive for somewhat few workers. Doesn't look like it, does it?
Here.
Yeah, about that.
If I made a promise that I wouldn't move the horse, would you believe me?
Yes.
Sucker. So Joel's not watching live because he's watching this. So I'll be honest with you. As I said before, I absolutely love the original game. One of my favourite games of all time, and was my #1 game for about 4 years, maybe even longer. When I heard about the new version and I read about the changes, I was sceptical, very sceptical. Then I played it and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So Joel's the same. He's thinking the lack of money says really bugs you, but it just works. It's so much smoother. In the old game, you had to, every time you placed a worker, you had to spend the money.
Okay.
So you had to put the money on the worker and you had to spend the money,
around.
but you got your workers back. So it was like you were paying the money.
Okay.
Yeah, so it kind of worked, but it was fiddly. This is just so much smoother and easier. And
Yeah, sorry, I'm
that's all right.
irritating.
It allows me to tell stories of my love for Caylus over the last 15 years.
Oh, it certainly captures the spirit of the old version.
Yeah.
So presumably I can't go there because that's owned.
Correct. This is not a building anymore.
Yeah.
You can't just turn up, knock on, and go.
Well,
Oi.
yeah,
Give me a work.
because it kind of looks like it gives you a worker, but it doesn't.
Yeah, no, because they're just like, no, I live here. This is
Mm.
my house now.
Yeah. So.
If
So if
I
I do
go
that-
here and somebody moves the horse, might still lose my worker.
Yeah, every worker you place goes there.
So it's a big risk.
Yeah, unless you were to go here,
Yeah.
move it, and then stay in after everybody else and drop out later so that you have the final say. But that requires you having quite a lot of workers.
Yes. I'm going to go for 2 points because I feel left out. I've only got 1 disc of points. Ooh. If I can get him on his
So, 1 worker left.
4.
4. I've already snapped up most of the good stuff. But I'm going to carry on snapping up the good stuff. Oh, he's in.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Can I? Change
Yeah.
that? I just realised I've got no workers left.
That's fine. Do you need workers?
He wants to do that action.
No, I don't need workers. You're right. Oh,
Well,
yes, I do.
you're going to get 4 here.
No, I do. Oh, I get 4.
You're going to get 4
when
here.
it's executes, I'll have 1 for that.
You'll have 1 for that, and
okay,
you'll have
okay, then we'll do that. Yeah.
Mm. I really want the ham and the cloth, but I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens if I zap a building I'm using later in the round?
The zapping only happens here.
Okay. Yeah.
So I am gonna. Let's go for an interactive game. Let's go there and.
We won't be getting it stateside until January. Yes, you're right. Yeah, I believe it's released in America in January.
AJ, you have no fear.
Where did you go?
I've gone there. I'm making it. I'm
Wow.
doing a risk.
Okay, well,
Is it 1-2 or is it 1?
it's 1-2.
Okay.
But it's still possible because Arthur's got to drop out,
Yeah.
and that actually opens me up for that. So I'm using a building owned by somebody else.
I get a VP.
So you get the point.
Mm-hmm.
You then drop out because you have no choice.
Correct.
You get the first player marker.
Oh.
You will go first next
I'll
round.
get the elephant.
And then I'm gonna go here.
Yeah, so
And-
I know exactly what you're going to do with that.
Yeah.
But you have to pay another worker to do that.
Good.
Because somebody has dropped out. Therefore,
Oh yeah. Cost
you
you
now
extra
have to
work
pay one
place
to
it.
place.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did.
And now, if I carry on, if I stay in,
It'll cost you both your.
it will cost me both of these.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm about to get. No, I'm not about to. I'm getting 3 from there. That's
in all likelihood.
that's all I'm getting.
Unless I decide to sabotage both of us.
Well, you wouldn't be the first person in this game.
Oh yeah, there's been a few bluffs when I've played before.
You might think I don't care about ham and a
I just don't.
Cloth.
bolt of cloth.
I don't think it's worth it.
It certainly does capture the spirit of the original.
Yeah,
game,
exactly.
There's no question.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a bit dubious when I looked at the board, but it does. It does do
It's
that.
extremely tempting.
And this used to be a bit fiddly, I think, but used to extend the game, sort of working out the castle.
Yeah. But I'm gonna drop out.
I'm going to drop out as well.
Okay, right. So activation. Blue. Me. I spend a worker. I spend a wood. And I'm going to take a favour. And I'm going to choose the steal a character from another player favour.
I feel like you're running low on meeples.
There we go.
Which one did you nick? Oh, that one.
Your meeples.
That one. Right. Would you like to build a house?
I would.
So you spend a cloth. Which house?
This one.
This one. You just put one of your little houses above it.
Can't quite reach.
Ori's here. Thank you for joining in and thank you for your help on the Kanban rulebook.
Fingers and thumbs. I'm looking forward to Kanban.
You get to build a wooden building.
And it's going to be
Which one would you like?
this one.
Okay, so this one actually has two options when you use it. It's spend one cloth for 4 points or 2 cloth for 6 points.
Yep, and my house goes on it.
Stick your house on it. And did you get your 4 victory points?
Not yet. I'm rich.
And then you get to move the provost. Provost.
Wow.
Go back.
Yeah, 1, 2. Right, yellow. Are you... no, you haven't got any workers. I have 2 workers. I'm not going to bother spending any.
Thank you.
Okay, so...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've got...
One.
So I could have spent 2 workers
Yeah, and it wouldn't have.
to cost you that. It's
Yeah.
not worth it. No. So we haven't had any evil gameplay so far, but we've had the threat of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I get a wood. Both of you two can spend a stone to get 4.
Screwed up. Oh, I screwed up.
I'm not the only one.
If I spend a stone now, I won't be able to do this. How did that happen?
I really enjoy this game that you have a lot of forward thinking.
Yeah, well, I'll spend a stone anyway. No, I won't spend a stone. I won't spend a stone.
So you don't get the 4 workers,
Don't get the 4 workers.
which means you won't get to do...
Oh, God's sake, I will spend. God damn it.
Okay. Dig. So right, you get
Ham.
food, spend a worker to get any resource.
I'll have a cloth.
But you're not going to have the 3 different ones, are you?
No. But I'm not, whatever I do, I'm not.
I get a stone and a food.
I get 2 points.
You get 2 points. And then I get 3 workers. And then you get a food and a cloth. And then this person goes to deliver and the king says, no, sorry, they've got to be different. And that goes to there.
Yep. Not good enough.
Right. Buildings get turned into houses.
Mm-hmm.
Any monument building, nobody's got any gold yet. Income. I think we're all at 4.
You're at 3 now. Oh no! Oh no! You are at 4.
Yep.
Oh yes.
And I've got this. So we're all at 4. There we go. And that was round 3. So we're now into round 4. We're in phase 2 of the game. So when you get a favour, both of these are one of those 2 is available.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do both. And who's the first player?
Me.
Arthur, you're the first player.
Right. What will I do this turn?
It's been an odd game so far because there's been... I mean, I built that as the first building and then nobody's used it.
But
People were scared.
The provost is a bit further along now.
Oh,
so
it's safe now.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't want to use it because I wanted somebody else to use it because I was greedy and I wanted the points.
But I've got the thief, so.
You have the thief. I forgot about that. I did forget.
What are the stone buildings? Well, it's stones, obviously.
So we'll just pause because I do need to explain these 2 because they're special. These 2 buildings are whoever places a worker on it to activate it gets what's printed on the left, but then the owner of the building gets what's printed on the right.
That's very reminiscent of the regional game.
Yep. Now, because we're playing with that character, the journeyman, you could potentially have 2 workers on a tile. This only happens
on the first one.
on the first one, and only if you're not on the tile at all. So
Okay.
if I go on it and then you
I'm on
own
it
this
as well.
building and you go on it, you don't get the bonus.
Ooh, okay.
Even from
From you
even as
being
a
on it.
secondary effect of mine. Yeah, if you're on it, you don't get it.
I'm going to get some stone because I want to start building stone things.
I'm going to build another wooden building. Chris is here from Meeple's Corner, saying retail before Christmas. Yes, you can say today. He was advertising it's available today. So
have we done things in the right sequence? Doesn't matter others.
how do you mean?
Well, you've just gone.
I went after AJ.
So she'll go in.
Yeah, you went first.
Yeah. But
Then AJ went there,
you should have gone before AJ.
and I went there.
It's
It's always clockwise from the
clockwise.
first player. This is irrelevant.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm assuming that was.
No,
no.
Okay.
which I'm really glad of because I get really confused where the games don't have.
Well, I'm
a-
now confused because we're not.
Well, the old game used to have a separate turn order track that you could
Oh,
manipulate.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So it is actually my turn. Right. Okay.
I always end up cheating on those and jumping my go.
Yeah.
Think about what I'm doing then. So what's good for
You're going to try
resources?
playing a game with 4 pools. That's fun.
It's bad enough playing through the ages when you're trying to explain age A
Age A, yeah.
every 2 minutes. What?
Graham's here, full of Christmas. Graham is full of Christmas. Excellent. I don't know if that's turkey or beer
Both.
or wine or both.
Oh
Oh,
no, yeah. You haven't seen my hand of indecision before, have you?
Do I get the VP now?
1
or
point to
later?
Arthur. Yeah, you get.
No, you don't.
No, you. Oh, thief, little thief.
Is that once per round?
No.
or
No,
the whole
forever.
round?
Otherwise, you would have done. You get the point at the point of placement, even if it is no longer activated.
Mm.
Sorry.
Well, you're not really.
Sorry,
No.
not sorry. Okay, so I'm going to.
Did you save any Christmas for me, Graham?
I think he's eating it all.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on my own building. I keep waiting for you lot to go on it, and you're not doing it, so I'm going there.
You're not cooperating. Okay, so what am I going to need? I'm picking up wood already. There's another ham.
All the ham. I'm going to use my journey human to go there. On your one.
So I get a point.
Nope.
Because you're the thief as well. Comboing characters together. Right. Resources. What have you got? What have you got? So that and that, and then that, and that, and I need that. There you go. Done.
So I'm getting a stone, building a stone building, getting meeples. I'm going to get points with my random cloth.
Oh, you know.
Well, if everybody's
Well.
nice to me.
Well, you putting that there,
And I've already used up my
that has changed. That has changed things a bit. It really has. I'm just going to go on here for no reason at all.
and I've used my double up person.
Because you could use that to go on here, I think.
I've already used it.
Yeah, but if you hadn't used it,
Yeah, I
think
could have used
that's
it.
interesting. You can go on one of these.
I think it's any. It doesn't say.
Yeah, and
there's
it
no
happens after the
restriction.
original. Wow.
Yeah.
But what am I going to do with this? That's the question.
I know.
Am I going to go that way, or am I going to go that way?
I have to say, I am not concerned.
In which case, do I stop now so I can use all my meeples to get him back again? Let's get another 2 points. Why not? I don't think you can move him back that far.
No, probably not. Right, now... Interesting.
I think you need a ham and a cloth.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, do I be evil and move this back and stop you from getting that, and potentially that as well, or
that really would be a move. That
you've
I'm
got
not
one
gonna
worker
say on camera.
left. You've got 2 workers
Two
left.
workers.
So I'm trying to work out if you might stay in a bit more. Okay, I'm going to go there. There you go. It's a bluff though. I am going to move it back. Yeah, I thought you might.
See if we get it right this time.
I need to work out how many you can. That's neutral. That's going to get your wood. You're going to deliver 1 batch. There's no way I can deliver 2.
Getting a stone and yeah, I'm not getting enough of anything else now. So let's go here. And no, you don't get a point.
Oh, because of the thief.
That thief is
I think we're going to have to
naughty.
report to the local constabulary that there's a thief in town. Okay, so
If this is Architects of the West Kingdom, I'll have you arrested.
I am going to pass. So I will take the first player marker.
Pass.
Thank you very much.
Pass.
You're out.
I'm passing as well.
You're out as well. Right, activation. Nobody went on here. Yellow, spend a cloth,
There's a cloth.
build house.
Onto house. So it's only these ones up to here.
Any of these yellow, yeah, the ones with the yellow flag on.
Yellow flag is the thing to look out for, right?
If anybody's got any questions about the game or wants me to tell any more interesting stories of my love for Caylus, please let me know in the chat.
How did you discover it?
I was at Essen when it came out.
Oh wow, okay.
And it was by a company called Istari Games that had already published a couple of other games that I really liked. So
Clearly got too much hand generation in this game.
I'm building a wooden building, and I am building for a wood and a food. I'm building this one,
Ooh,
which goes here and gets me 3 points because of my architect.
that'll be useful on because the
Yeah.
stonemason's out.
There we go. I'm also moving the provost. 1, 2. I'm then not going to move the provost any further,
Not me.
but you two could combine forces
And stop you from
and start me.
getting-
And this is where the negotiation can
Nope, not interested.
come in.
Okay, well then, yeah,
So
I'm not using.
You
all
could
my
spend
men.
3 to stop me getting.
I'm not using
yeah.
all my men.
Right, yellow gets a wood. Yellow also gets a food,
Because you can never have
and then
enough hand.
yellow spends any resource to get 3 men,
Could that be a hand?
and then spends 1 worker to get any 1 good.
Yes, I need a stone. So.
Okay.
Love to hear more stories about Caylus. Right, I'll tell you one after the end of this round.
Stone,
Stone, I get food,
Dupois.
you get 2 points. We both get to build a stone building, but it's me first. So I'm going to spend a stone and a food. And I am going to build... Oh, I should have built that one, shouldn't I? I'm going to build this one. I'm going to put it there. That gets me 4 points because of my architect.
And I'm going to build the first one in the row, please.
This one?
That one, yeah. My arms aren't quite long enough.
That gets you 3 points. That's those done. You then get 3 workers from the quarry.
People, thank you.
You also get any one resource.
Which is going to be a wood.
And then you can exchange cloth for points.
Yep.
1 cloth for 4 points. And then I get food and a cloth.
I'm going to change some of these over. They're getting a bit out of hand.
And then we go up to the delivery.
Yes, we have a delivery.
So you get 6 points because of your
Right.
foreman.
Yep.
Thank you.
And you get a favour.
Which could
Which
be
can either be a cloth
or
steal a character.
oh yes.
Do you usually bling up your games with upgraded components or metal coins?
Mr.
I
Robber.
personally don't.
He's thieving my rubber.
He's thieved the thief.
He's thieved my thief. I usually don't.
Did I get the points for the delivery?
I gave you 6.
You gave me 6. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
put them there, brilliant.
usually don't, but some things, like I've just got Terraforming Mars,
Mhm.
and I feel like I'll need to pimp it up just because of the quality of the components.
Yeah.
I like playing with other people's blinged up games. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and my husband's got some scythe coins that go with pretty
Oh,
much
you've done
anything.
scythe coins.
Yeah.
Nice. So we've done that. We've done the delivery. So now we do this.
I think it's often better to upgrade the box to allow you to play out of the box, particularly games that have got a long setup. I think
Yeah.
that's probably more
So
valuable.
that flips. Anybody want to build a monument? Nobody can. Income. I'm on 4. Arthur, I believe you're on 5.
Correct.
You're on
I'm
4.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Arthur, have you blinged up
Adam's
any
back
games?
again.
Yes. I'm trying to think which though. Certainly in terms of adding box inserts to allow play out of the box, I've done that on quite a few
Yeah.
games.
We move the provost, so stays there.
Mhm.
We go move on to round
I
5.
mean, obviously things like sleeving cars.
Yeah. I made the mistake of sleeving
Yeah.
Marvel Legendary.
I had to. I
Cost as
got
much
some of
as
those
the-
plastic templates for Terraforming Mars. They didn't quite fit the
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
weird then,
thing,
weren't
so
they?
I redid the graphics so that I could
Right.
put the graphics to the plastic thing.
So Caylus' story at the end of
Plastic
round
template.
5 is Vicky once asked me, my partner, that if there was ever a fire in the house, what would be the first thing that I save? Would it be
The correct answer is her.
would it be her, or would it be a copy of Caylus? And I hesitated for
Too long.
slightly too long. But the point is, she's got legs.
That's what I was going to say. She's got legs.
She's got
so-
legs and can jump out the window, whereas
Yeah.
poor Caylus in the other room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, right. So that's my Caylus story at the end of round 5. I'll do another one at the end of round 6. Was that the end of round 5? Or was that round 4?
That was round 4, wasn't it? Oh God, I don't know.
Let me know in the chat. Was that round 4 or was that round 5?
I think it was 4 because no
I
one's
think
had
it
the
was 4.
opportunity to do
Nobody
this.
did the cloth yet.
I was going to. Anyway, somebody in the chat, let me know if that was round 4
I think
or
it
if
was
that
4.
was round 5. We're going to carry on playing, and we will see.
Because I think you said at the beginning of the round we're now in a new phase. I think.
You said, "Oh, a cloth available now." I think you did.
I think we did. I think we moved it on. But somebody will tell us in the chat. We're going to carry on playing, assuming this is round 5. And I'm going first. Now, Percy's all the way down there. So this is all looking very appetising now. And I'm going to start by going here.
Ooh.
Nobody will save the cat.
See, we have the issues. We have 4 cats
Oh, right,
and
okay.
only 2 humans, and we also have a lizard and some fish. I
Right.
wouldn't know what to do with them.
Yeah. 1 point for blue. Huzzah!
Incorrect.
Oh, you've got the thief.
Mm. You're not doing well at that, are you?
That pesky thief. It's interesting because I thought I was going to use a building strategy for this game because of the architect, but because the thief's in the game,
You're not. Yeah.
that's not really worked so well. Yeah, you have to adapt your strategies depending on which characters are in play.
I'm going to go.
Nobody has let us know if we got right. Ori is saying we moved it to 5, so this is round
Okay.
5.
I don't
Okay.
think the Facebook one's moving.
It might just be that nobody's saying anything. Yeah, the Facebook chat is normally
Quieter.
quieter.
Now, do I want to use my journeyman and go here and risk? Which is fair, you're not going to risk yourself, are you? It's only Paul that might
Yeah.
screw us over.
You might. But we were in a position
Me?
to cooperate to prevent it.
We
again.
are.
Me?
Yeah.
Would I? There you go. I've sent myself a test message. See if it shows up. Yes, it does.
Okay, cool. It's working from the bottom up. That's what I was getting.
Yeah, I
confused.
keep changing the settings. Facebook chat viewer. Where is it? Is it that one? That one. There. Right. Done. Is it me?
Yeah, I think.
Yes.
There you go. Fixed it.
Sorry,
Right.
getting to feel about the computer.
So you've both gone on there.
Mm-hmm.
So did I get the point for this?
No, you didn't. You get a point. Well spotted.
Yeah.
Well, even for,
Cheating
Cheating you
even for
out
the
of it.
second person game then.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you didn't have the thief, I'd have got 2 points for that.
Mm.
So a favour right now is essentially a cloth. What is it that I want to do? I'm going to go on there. I'm just going to milk the points. Oh, nope, oh, no. I was about to take a point then.
You had too much ham, but I'm going to get some more ham. So did you want ham?
I'm going to have to do this at some point, so why not now?
I just realised I've got no stone.
Oh, and you've got the stonemason point.
Need
Yeah,
the stone.
I'm getting a stone later.
yeah. I think.
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe misrecollecting, but it seems easier to build buildings than it used to be.
Well, it's
less,
the same.
less resources, maybe.
Yeah, same.
Same.
Yeah.
Right, you'll go. I've
Where do you go?
there.
Can't go in there because of that. Can't go in there because of that. I'll go on here and give you a point, Arthur.
Very kind. Every point is useful.
Hidden points is an intriguing decision. I wonder why it was done. I think it's the same reason why a lot of games use hidden points, which took me a few years because I hated it. I don't like hidden trackable information. But near the end of the game, it basically it prevents the problem where people are counting points, possibly king making, all of that stuff, because there's a bit of an unknown element. You just try and do the best you can. So it kind of works, and I didn't think it would.
To be fair though, I never really paid attention to other people's points
No.
until no.
The other thing psychologically is if you're behind on a score track and you're
score
going
tracks
in
definitely.
and you're going into the last hour of the game and you're really far behind, psychologically that has an impact. With this, you don't have
no
that.
idea. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go there.
Yeah, if you hadn't gone there, I would have. But you did.
I did.
I think. Am I going to get right? So I'm getting a cloth, food, spending my cloth, potentially getting 2 stone,
Maybe.
but now I'm not. See, if I go here, if you move me back, I can't do that one. What wooden buildings are left? 2 woods
just those
and
2.
2 hams. Go on, let's build a wooden building.
Yeah, and Joel, what I've just said took me years to realise that. It's it's one of those things I had to sort of really think about, and being involved in game development and speaking to designers, I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
So a lot of the opinions I had 10 years ago about games that I was very firm with, and I was like, oh, these are crazy, why are they doing that? Now I understand some of the reasons in a bit more detail. I think I'm going to pass and keep the first player marker. This is a bit of one of those
It's quite
rounds for me. I'm
crowded.
not doing very much this round.
Go Yeah, I think I'm going to pass as well. I'm going to store up
Well,
for
half
next.
the next.
Oh, no, well, yeah.
My option.
Sorry. Even
I'm
when we're in a
just trying to work out what
circular.
I've got a wood, and I've got a stone.
And then you've got stone.
Except I'm going to
missing.
spend that stone shortly. So I've got a wood essentially. I'll spend the stone there. I've got anything I want, which could be a hammer. I've got a thing. So I am going to go here.
Yeah, pass.
You spent an extra worker to do that?
I did.
Yeah. So you're passing.
I pass.
Okay, right, activation. I will spend cloth. Now, which of these do we want to get rid of? I think I'm going to get rid of that one. Build a wooden building.
That makes
Which
my
one would you like?
decision easier. I'm doing the one that gets 2 wood out, as you've just got rid of the wood.
Okay, so you get 2 points.
Thank you.
And put the little house up there. I'm then going to move the provost.
I've kept some workers behind, we're alright.
So have I. Well, I'll chip in one if you'll chip in one.
Yep.
Right, it's me first.
I thought, yeah, okay.
Oh,
fair enough.
no.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, good point. How many would you like to spend?
So you've got 1.
I got 1.
I've got 5.
Keep in mind you'll be spiting yourself.
I know. So there's things going through my head at the moment, which
I think if you move it back further, I'm probably not going to chip in. If that helps.
that's what I'm thinking.
Oh.
That is what I'm thinking. Is could I do more damage to other people than it is worth doing to myself? If I was to just put in 1.
And we're all down to.
Oh, now that is interesting.
So if you move back 1, you're down 2 resources, and we're down 2 resources each, and it's cost you a worker.
And another worker to go here.
Well, that was kind of.
But that was
like a safety.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't really count that.
If I spend 2.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not going to spend any more. I'm going to leave it there. So
I'm spending a worker. Well, I'll just spend my worker and
to
it
send it in which direction?
This way, obviously. He's turning round and he's going
Okay.
back there. So I'll save your worker.
Yeah, I guess you're not going to move it.
Definitely not.
Okay, so you get 1 wood. Can you imagine a 5-player game? This is crazy.
No, it was the same in Caylus.
So black, you can spend a worker to get a good.
And I'm going to get.
There is a castle. It's up here. We're building it, honestly.
It just doesn't look like a castle.
No,
It's hidden underneath.
but we are building a castle. Yellow gets a stone, and black gets a food. I get 2 points. I'm going to give in a 3 and take a 5. Yellow can build a stone building.
Right.
Which one are you building?
Good question. I think
Keith's here. Hi Keith, thank you very much.
I'm probably going to build it gold.
Scott's saying he can't see the tracks. Yeah, the
Ooh,
tracks from the
gold,
old
yeah.
castle, they've gone. It's all been very simplified and streamlined.
If you build a gold, you'll get the points because I think some of us will start needing gold at some point.
Well, that was certainly true of the old game.
Unless we have a goldless game.
A ham and a stone.
It's unlikely.
It goes here, is it?
Yeah.
And I get 4
4 points.
points. Or do I get, what's that one for? That's for these things,
Yeah.
okay.
Have you got a 1?
Yes, I'm sure I have 1. There it is.
Put your house there.
Right. I get 3 workers.
That's almost an Enya song, that.
Yellow gets
Uh-huh.
a resource. Black, spending a cloth for 4 points. You're
Yeah.
getting a lot of points from that, aren't you? That's fabric merchant. I get a food and a cloth.
And I will.
You two both get 2
There
stone.
you go.
Thank you, Rach.
And then we are up to delivery.
Yes. A delivery.
6 points and another favour. I need to sort out this.
Right, so again I could steal a thing, but I don't think I'm tempted. I think I'm going to take the
Just take a cloth.
Mm.
cloth.
There you go. There's your cloth and your 6 points. Did anybody build a house this turn? Yes, I did. So that flips over. No monument building.
We dream of monument.
Income. I get 5.
4.
I get 5 as well, I think.
You've got 2 there.
2 of them, yeah.
Okay.
Someone nicks me out of the generator.
And I'm going to move the round marker on to round 6. And now I'm going to tell you another story. So this is Caylus 1303. The original game was set in 1299. Do you know why this is Caylus 1303?
No, because that's not 15 years before, is it?
Yeah.
It is? Oh, yeah,
Sorry,
of course it is.
1289.
Yeah,
Sorry, 1289. Yeah, so I asked the designer, I said, was there something historically significant about 1303? Thinking, oh, I've missed something. He said, no, but the original game was 1289. It's been 15 years, so we added 15. I was like, oh, right, okay. So there we go.
Was there something historical about 1289?
Probably, yeah. I don't know.
A castle was built or something?
Yeah, possibly. Very possibly. That's gone, hasn't it? Right, we're on round 6. I'm the first player. I have
I'm reduced in my meeples.
an army of meeples.
You can do what you want.
Yeah, well, last round was a sort of setting up round for this round. But now... Oh, and provost. We haven't moved the provost. So all of this has opened up now. And I'm going to go there and give black 1 point.
Ooh,
Have a
thank
point.
you. What does that symbol
Later
mean?
on you'll get
You will get a
Oh,
stone.
it's a house, yeah.
Yeah, so when it is activated, I will get that and you
Awesome.
will get a stone. Yeah, lots of talk in the chat about the fact that there's no money, but there is. It's these. These are
Well,
workers and money combined.
I'm undecided. I think I might go here.
I think I'm going to get enough stone
Not a
this
point
round.
for me.
I need workers.
Point for yellow.
Yeah, I forgot about that bit.
So I'm going to go here on my own building because I can. Ah, right then.
That'll give him some thinking to do
Yeah. Yeah.
at some point.
I'm going to go there. I like this house building.
Yeah, house building's good. Right, so all the tasty spots have gone. Why have they?
Just going to trade in.
Ooh. And no point.
And no point because of the thief.
Oh, frustrating, isn't it? Go there.
But I do get a point
Oh, yeah.
because you're not a thief anymore.
No.
You've reformed your ways. Let's go here.
Oh, we haven't been asking if the early riser wants to rise early.
I assumed Arthur would jump in if he wanted to.
Yeah, so it's meeple
But you've been
rich.
short of workers, haven't you?
I haven't doubled
Come
somebody
on,
else's
you know
yet,
you
have
want
I?
that gold. You know you want
I
it.
kind of do.
You know you want it. You can have it as well.
You have control, more or less,
Yeah.
apart from his army of meeples.
Yes, that's what I'm concerned about.
It's all right. Oh, well,
You say that?
Yeah, no, it's fine. Because there's 2 wood next to it that I'd have. If you went there and got the gold, I'd go for the 2 wood.
Go in here for now with my special ability.
production? Has that been zapped? It's been zapped, is it?
Yeah. You know, we've chopped down all the trees here. They've all gone. Louis X, the King of France, was born in 1289. Thank you, Randy, and thank you, Google. I just missed something in the chat. Can I scroll up? No, for some reason the chat scrolling doesn't work sometimes, and then other times it does. What did I miss? Will we get your thoughts on what is new in this version? Or we have to wait since this is a sponsored stream. Your thoughts on the new favours, hidden points, fixed length. I'm kind of talking about that now. Obviously, because this is a sponsored stream, I shouldn't be giving my personal opinions on the game, but I have given my personal opinions on this game so many times in the last year. Yeah, I'm not going to keep secret my love for this game.
I've gone up here.
Oh, have you now? But you still haven't done this stuff here. So yeah, I love the new characters, and I'm happy with the hidden scoring. The new characters is fantastic. Well, I'm not sure what to do now, because I can't go here because I haven't got any wood. Got all of these bits. That's one of anything. If I don't go there, you will, and you'll thieve the points off me.
Go on, I'll risk it.
Right, okay. And then I go there. So Arthur gets a point for that, and you get a point for that.
There you go.
You then passing?
I am.
So you get the first player marker.
I'm passing as well.
You're passing as well. Well, in that case...
You've got all the meeples.
Yeah. No, I'm going to pass as well. But I can't promise that I might not be evil. I'm really sorry.
No, you're not.
Well, I am, because you've come all the way down from Bristol to join me for the game.
I'm notoriously bad at worker placements anyway. I love them, but I'm really bad at them.
Just
so
there is an opportunity now
to screw me over.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to do it. He's sacrificing so much of his own.
Well, no, because I'm last.
No, but this is you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
but he's last.
Oh, for this
so
one. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I spend a worker, I spend a cloth.
He's only got 4 workers though.
Yeah. And I'm going to convert this into a residence.
Yeah,
So
he's
it goes
moving 2.
Clippity cloppity, yeah.
Just in case, just make it a bit more difficult.
Yellow.
Haven't no workers.
No.
Well, we might want to...
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it. I've only got 1 worker left. No.
So it's, do I spend 2 workers to stop you getting a gold? And the answer is no.
Ooh, you've been nice. Or you just
If it was
protecting
one,
your workers.
if it was 1, I would have done. But because I'm not on here this turn,
yeah, okay.
it was a difficult one because I am going to get 6 workers at the end of the round. But decided not to. Right, we'll move up. Moving up. This one. Spend a resource to get 3 workers. Tom's here. Hello, Tom. And Louis here as well. Just arrived on the stream. We'll listen from the start later on. And Colin says, I think I could speak for you, Paul. I know you love it. Yes. Colin got me drunk at Manacon and I gave my true feelings on it. He didn't get me drunk. I didn't drink. I still told him what I thought of it.
I'll have a hand, please.
I get 2 points. I'll take 3 and put 1 back.
And you get to build a...
And I get to build a stone building. Did I just put that worker from there into here?
How many do you have left at the end of the...
If anybody was watching that or can rewind 15
don't
seconds,
think
did I move the worker from there to there?
No, you had 4 workers.
I had 4 workers, yeah. Okay. So I'm building a stone building, which has got to be... It's got to be that. It's the only one I can build with what I've got, which for me is 5 points.
It's got this tablecloth. It's a scythe one, apparently.
Yep, it's
it
a
goes quite well.
scythe-inspired mat. But yeah, as you say, it looks like it could be a Caylus mat because the river. I mean, the artwork is almost the
Beautiful.
same.
Yeah.
Done that. Got me points. Put that on. Done. 3 workers. I get a resource of my choice. I'm going to take a wood. Although I'm about to get a wood from there. So do I take a cloth instead?
I'm about to get a wood from here as well.
I'm about to get 2 from there. Yeah, I'll take a cloth. Right, yellow. Arthur, would you like to spend a cloth to get 4 points?
I think I would.
4 lovely points.
Yep.
Okay, and then you two both get a food and a cloth. Here's your cloth.
Thank you.
Yellow, you get 2 stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Black, you get 2 wood and a cloth, and I get a wood.
The board's getting busy now.
Here, I get 2 stone and a cloth, and you get stone. Here, I get 2 wood. And there you get the first gold of the game, which is later than normal.
Courtesy of my gold work, or mine, or whatever it is.
There we go.
Mine, I suppose.
It's gold mine. Yeah. Okay, so we've done all of that. Deliveries. How many batches would you like to deliver?
Just the one.
Just the one. 6 points. Do you have 2 batches? Are you going to gazump him?
Gazumping.
Okay. Gazumping is happening.
So I get 6 points, but not the favour, is that
Correct. Yeah.
So 6 points.
And 5 and a 1.
Right, and I'm doing 2
I don't
wood,
even know what the favour is.
2 stone.
So you get
Ow.
10 points for 2 batches, and then you
Awesome.
get the favour. What would you like as the favour?
Ooh.
Yeah, you could have a cloth, or you could steal.
A robber.
I'm going to steal that one.
This one.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Good choice.
Buildings convert into residences. Monument building. Anybody want to build a monument?
Is there anything for one?
So we can build a monument without taking a build action, is that?
Yes,
well,
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't really internalised it.
The old
having no gold.
blue
obviously.
architect building. So you could build that one. You could build that
Yeah,
one.
not yet though. I'm going to wait until I've got a bit more stuff.
Okay. Income. So mine's dropped down, but then gone up.
5, I think.
So I'm back to 5.
I'm on 5 as well.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move on to round 7.
He clippity clops backwards, right?
He clipped the clocks to there. So another quick story. Vicky did come home one night and found me in bed
Okay.
with a copy of Caylus.
The whole box?
The whole box. I'd gone to bed early. I knew it was all a setup, obviously, but yeah. I sneaked upstairs to bed and I brought my copy of Caylus, and she went, "Where is he? Where is he?" Came upstairs and there I was, snuggling a copy of Caylus in bed. So, yes. Anyway, round 7.
Yes.
Yeah, these resources are...
Quite
well,
impressive.
this is where we are now with the game, because of these buildings have come into play later than normal. Quite often these buildings are built here.
We've all been frightened of the horse. I think that's
We
what
were
it
all
is.
frightened of Percy in the first couple of rounds of the game. So,
So I'm just pondering through my mind,
Yeah.
using the getting up early guy. So I could use him,
And
basically
then
take
have
2
your-
actions.
yeah.
So it costs me 3 workers.
Yeah.
And let's say I went there and there, I get 6 things, but I kind of get 6 things for 3 workers anyway. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure it's that compelling, to be honest.
but it stops us getting them.
It does stop you getting them, although you get some fringe benefits regardless, which is probably happier.
It
with.
stops you getting them.
Um,
I've got the journeyman.
That's true. That is very true.
So it's not that great, I don't think. I'll grab my own gold. Somebody's got to build some more of these gold producing things. So why not let that be me?
I won't have a point because you've got a thief.
Is that your early morning or is that just
No,
your...
it's just a regular.
It's the regular
Okay.
7 o'clock
It
start.
doesn't look too compelling. I mean, maybe when there's even better buildings in play. I'm also taking a slight risk by going there, but it's not much of a risk, I think.
Going on your own building.
Don't get a stone, but I do get stone out of it. So.
I'm going here.
Ooh. I wonder what Paul's going to be doing.
Good question. Right.
Paul doesn't know what he's up to. No, he does. He has a plan.
Right. Where
Tea
can, we get,
leafing, I imagine.
where can I get wood? There is one
There.
possibility.
There and there.
Yeah, so maybe we'll go there after all. Okay, no point.
That thief has been responsible for about 20 points lost in this game.
Yes.
Right, so that's going there, that's doing that. That's doing that. And go here.
Yeah.
You could have a free resource here.
Yeah, I know, but I need it before there.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Right, yeah.
Right. Point.
Point for me.
There you go.
Thank you. So I've got the memo from the king. Apparently he's building a castle. It's taken 7 rounds for me to get the message. But I've just received urgent word.
That you
Oi,
need some
Grogan.
resources.
You've not been helping. So I'm gonna go and see what he wants.
Get in there.
Yeah. In the original version, the game was split into 3 phases: the dungeons,
Okay.
the walls, and the towers.
Oh wow.
And at
okay.
the end of each phase, if you hadn't contributed something, the king was grumpy, and he would deduct your points.
Oh wow.
So you actually had to do it by certain points.
Yeah. Kind of forces your hand, forces the strategy a little bit.
Yeah. But it was one of the strategies of just not bothering.
Do you know what kind of the level of pointage is going to be here, kind of, for a good game?
It all
New
depends
version.
because of the thief. The thief would really mean that
Screwed
this
it
is
up.
going to be a lower point game than
Yeah.
normal. So somewhere between 50 and 70, I would guess.
I am really impressed that I've managed not to swear yet.
The dudes walking the trail, can you still move them backwards and forwards, or is that a different game? If you mean
Points
the provost, then
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, sorry.
it can move up and down the trail.
Your go.
My go?
Yes.
Where did you go?
There.
What's that meeple doing on top of that big pile of points? Is he just...
If it makes you happier,
No.
King of the
It's just, I
castle.
was going to say, yeah.
I'll put him down here.
Showing off.
I'll just sneak on there.
Your favourite spot?
Mm-hmm.
I believe. My go.
Oh, no, it's your go. Jump in the gun.
It's all right. I'm not going there. Might, however, go here.
If Dan's still watching, we definitely need one of these toppers somehow, some way. It's cheaper than a gaming table, Dan. So
It is, yes. Okay, so a point to yellow.
Right. Think again. What am I doing?
Point to black. Nope, no point to black.
oh, right.
Dan says he's got a spare kidney.
Good.
I think a robber would be a bit fairer in a 5-player game because it would have less impact.
Yep. I'm going to pass and steal the first player marker.
Ooh.
I am going to use 2 workers.
Ooh. One of the characters is the Night Watchman, where you don't pay the extra 1. So you stay in as long as
Yeah,
you
that's
want.
quite
Just keep
nice.
playing. Yeah. it's quite good.
Um,
Again, for those people tuning in, the game comes with 12 different characters. We chose 6 at random at the start of the game, and they're the 6 we're using, and that really changes how the game's played. Where can you get those game toppers? You can't get them in the UK at the moment. They are from Game Toppers LLC. Yeah, so they're available all over America, and I think in some places in Europe, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure they're available in the UK. So yeah, game toppers is the thing.
So I am going to pay a worker to go here with my journeyman. Haven't done my journeyman yet, have I? No.
I don't believe so.
Left him late this time.
I'm already out. So you're out.
Yeah.
I'm out as well. I've only got
Okay,
one person
right.
left.
I am going to spend a wood to get a favour, and the favour I'm going to get is that one, which allows me to convert one worker into a gold.
Crafty.
Black, spend a cloth,
Cloth.
build a residence.
I'm going
There's
to
only
build
3
it.
spaces left.
Yeah. That one seems the most
Okay.
worthless.
I'm then going to move the provost.
Worthless. I go there every turn.
So people didn't go here. I thought somebody might have gone here. Okay, I'm going to move it too. I'm then not going to move it any further
Nor me.
No.
because you've both only got one left. haven't
Yes.
you? Yeah. Okay. Da. Right. Yellow. Spend a worker to get a resource.
Right, and I think I need a wood.
Okay. And you also get a food. And AJ, you get a stone,
Stone.
and then you get to build a stone building.
Which is going to be... Is there any difference between these? Yes. generates
One is
gold, one
convert
generates
resources
VP.
into gold, and the other one is convert gold into
Right,
points.
there's that much gold in the game. Right, so I get 5
You get 5 points for building it.
that.
It goes there.
There you go.
Thank you.
You get 3
Thank
workers.
you.
Yellow, you get a resource of your choice.
Okay, so what am I picking up later on? I'm picking up wood, and I'm picking up a block of cloth, and I'm picking up more wood. So I need stone.
And then AJ, you can convert a cloth into 4 points.
Wonderful.
I get food and a cloth. You get 2 stone.
Oh.
Right, you get 2 wood and a cloth. I get
If you pass me the cloth, that would be handy. Thank you.
I get a wood. Here you get 2 stone and a cloth.
I'm full of stone.
Here both of you get 2 wood. And here I get a gold. Okay, delivery. So how many can you deliver?
2.
You can deliver 2, which means I need to deliver 2 in order to get the favour. So I think that's what we want. Yep. So 2 batches is 10 points.
I'll deliver 2 batches, which is 12 points. Oh,
And then I get the favour.
can I?
How many points?
12.
Oh.
And for the favour I'm going to do this again. Spend a worker to get another gold.
Have you got enough gold yet?
I've got 3, that's not enough. I need 11.
11?
I just made up a number.
Right. All the gold he could possibly ever require.
Yeah.
So we do that, and this converts into a house. We then do that. Anybody want to build a monument?
Is that a wood or...
It's 2 wood. It's a gold and 2 wood. Going to build the farm?
Yeah.
The monumental farm. So I get a choice first.
Okay.
I'm not
cool.
going to. And then you get a choice next.
Cool.
And you're going to build the...
Farm.
So you get 7 points immediately, and you will be getting a food as income. Nobody else building monument? Income. Notice you've lost the income from the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, you gained
And you've gained that
I've gained
instead.
Whatever that is.
food and
5 wood.
So I get 5. 1, 2,
5.
5. We move Percy back to here. We move on to round 8.
So cat-candid.
This guy's gone. haven't
There goes a go. So round 8, the penultimate round, and off we go.
Yeah, I've got far too much wood and not enough anything else.
Stone.
Stone,
Got a lot-
rather.
yeah, huge amount of stone.
I did that a bit wrong.
Who's the first player? Me. Right. Okay. What's my new plan? is to go here and give you a point.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm going to use the. Am I? Yeah, I'm going to use the early rising guy.
So that was before this.
Yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
Sorry.
So before I've done that,
Well, it doesn't matter. You do that now. I can do, or is it literally?
it's literally
First
before.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll still get ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Eventually. So there's my guy for doing it, and I am going to jump in to.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Fine.
Yep.
And then it's my go.
And then I went.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I went there.
Then
so
it's my
now
go
it's your
again.
go. Yeah.
So I'm going to go here.
I think I need to get myself some wood.
Mutual giving of points. Okay, so you've gone there, which means you're going to be doing that, and you're going to be going that way, which means that should be safe. You get a point.
I do. Well, I've got so few workers this turn. What else do I need to do?
Yeah, Joel's just said yes to Scott's question. Yeah, I think this is probably the game that put worker placement on the map.
Oh, no, your people go there.
Why?
What people?
You gave me that people. Oh, no, sorry, you were putting him there.
Stop robbing our
Sorry.
people.
Where's he
I
going?
think he's going here.
There, sorry, I thought it was a piece of food.
Peopleness.
Get your point?
No point.
Oh, no point.
Oh.
Yeah. Keep forgetting the thief. It's like it's been there the whole game. I still keep forgetting it.
Don't need any more stone. I'm going here with my
Special thing.
special thing.
I'm going there.
Pass.
Ooh.
It's going to be expensive to carry on
Ooh.
placing.
That's what I thought.
Pay a dude to place a dude.
So I was going to... Well. I will... Oh, it's 2, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He's only gone and done it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go there, which costs me an extra one.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna go.
You staying in?
Yep, I'm staying in to get myself some meat.
I'm gonna drop out.
I'm dropping out now.
Okay, so activation.
Right, so what's the maximum move? That 3, is it, or 2?
2. This is 2.
Okay, fine. 2, obviously. Now.
These are 3.
Yeah. So
So-
I could move it another 1. You've got 2.
I have 2. AJ
That's
has
3.
3. So between us, we could totally move it back.
And get rid of your ability to get gold.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll make it expensive for you then. If you want to do
Ooh.
There. Yeah, so we have these, I didn't explain, but we have these extra spaces
For him.
just
So-
for him.
Mm.
that. So it was there, wasn't it? I moved it 2.
Yep. So
Yeah.
now it's
Isn't
to
it
there.
between?
There's
It
no,
is
there's
there.
no
This,
more.
that's not a building space, that's a Percy space.
Does look like that.
So we could spend 2
We
each.
could,
and I'm not
but
going
that's
to.
no.
No.
I didn't think it was very likely.
No. Okay, so Black, you get 1 food.
Awesome.
I build a stone building. So stone and wood to put this into play. We are getting close to the end of the road. That gets me 6 points because of my architect. So 6 points. Moving on. I get a food and a cloth. You you get two wood and a cloth.
And you get a wood.
I get a wood. And then I get 2 stone and a cloth.
And I get a stone. Again, more stone.
Yellow and black get 2 wood each.
There you go.
Yeah.
I get a gold.
I'm a bit resource heavy now.
And then I'm going to spend that 2 wood and 2 gold.
I've miscalculated.
Oh,
Oh. Yeah, so have I.
Delivery. How many batches would you like to deliver?
2. Get rid of at least some of my stone.
10 points.
Thank you.
And a favour? What would you like to do with your favour?
I'm turning. How many gold is needed for that? I'm turning through.
this is 3, 2, 2.
1, 1, 1.
This is difficult. You can see my hand of indecision now going in and out. My game group takes the mick out of me for this all the time. I'm gonna pay 3 workers to get 2 gold.
Yeah.
Oh, ouch.
So that's well cheap, but you have to get the favour.
Yeah. So you got the 5 points for you got the 10 points for building the batch, and you took your favour. Right, we have house conversion. There's no house conversion this turn. Building of monuments. So it's me first. Now, obviously, I'm planning to build this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a stone short.
That's very sad.
There's only 1 round left. If I sneak in and build something cheaper, am I going to completely mess myself up for later? Pass. I'm not going to build anything here. Are you going to build anything here?
No.
You're going to build anything here?
Nope.
Are you going to build anything? Oh, that's me.
Yep. And that's your last chance, isn't it?
I am going to build something here. I am going to spend 1 gold and 1 wood, and I'm going to build this, which actually gets me 5 points.
Ooh.
Because of my architect. So 5 points. I've made good use of this. I'm happy with that. Are you going to build?
Yes, and I'm going to build the one that's 15 points of stone.
2 gold and 3 stone. Have you got enough stone? Are you sure?
Just enough.
15 points. But that hopefully takes you out of the running of this one.
Yeah, well, I haven't got enough workers now
No.
because I was a bit of an idiot and didn't go there.
All right, so I think you did explain it. I didn't appreciate that. So the order in which we build monuments is the order in which these...
Yeah, I did. I remember going through that
You did,
specifically in the tutorial. Only because I got it wrong the first time I played.
And it doesn't kind of use up the building to use it... Oh, it does use up the building.
Mm.
Yes, so I've
But
reduced my income.
That's why I built that monument there.
Yeah. So,
So
you've still got the
I still
option
get first choice.
That's very strong. Yes,
here.
yes. So I shall probably not be able to build it.
We are now on round 9. This is the last round of the game. Thank you for everybody bearing with me. How does the game end, says Joel? Yep, round 9, and here we go. Provost moves back to here. Income. So yeah, we're not on round 9 yet because we didn't do income.
1.
I'm now on 1, 2, 3. I'm on 6.
I'm on 4. Hey. That was a mistake, never mind.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, I've got to think about this very
First player is still me. Is that right?
No. First player is
You
me.
passed first. We
Yeah.
didn't move it. We're getting all excited in the last round.
Yeah, remember I passed out and it cost you...
You did.
...hideous amounts to carry on.
Yes.
Do you want to use your
That's what I'm pondering.
Early riser.
Do I need to? I've only got 5 workers.
6:30 alarm?
So what do I need to do this turn? I essentially need to get that and that. So I don't think I need to use it. So I won't use it. But I do need stuff. Where's lots of stuff available?
There. That one.
Yeah, there's like the one to go with, isn't it?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh!
Thank you for your suggestion.
Damn it!
Yes. Well, there's the stone.
Oh, I didn't get my food income.
Oh yeah, from your farm. Yeah.
4 people and a bit of food. yeah, falling at the final hurdle, I think, with my 4 workers.
No one built a double ham building. God,
Ham? Yeah, I know.
it's outrageous. Right, so next question. We're going to pick up some ham. Yeah, well there.
The ham shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go there. It would give Paul a point. Oh, no, it doesn't.
No, it wouldn't.
I'm getting more ham.
Right, now, is it still possible to pick up a ham? Probably not.
Not now.
This is pretty naff on the last turn, isn't it?
Well, actually, there is. There is a way you can get ham. There's only one way you can do it. You go here, you spend the wood, you get the favour, and you choose that.
Yeah.
Expensive though.
So you can do it, but
Yeah.
it's hard. Going to be expensive.
Right, so refocus. Okay, I'm doing that. So ham's out. For all practical purposes. I suppose that's worth a couple of points worth thinking about.
Yep.
Gold is worth 1 point, is it?
Gold is worth 2.
Ah.
Yeah, every piece of gold at the end of the game, and it's the only end game scoring. Any resources you've got left, any workers, none of that is worth anything. I'm not sure what the tie-break rule is. I'm just going to check the tie-break rule, if there is one.
I'll take 2 points.
I'm going to. So I've got
Nope.
2 wood, 2
Friendly
stone,
ties.
Hammy ham ham. Get another stone.
Oh, I'll have a point. Thank you. And then I'll give Arthur a point.
I'm not liking the look of Arthur's big pile of points.
It's all ones.
Yeah, it's all ones.
Apart from the 5s.
And my last worker, this is ridiculous, I can't believe I worked myself out of workers, it's going to go here.
And that's your last worker, is it?
Yes.
So
There's my
you'll
twonk.
be passing next.
Yep.
So this round I'm getting that there, and I'm getting that, and then I'm not doing anything else. I was going to grab a couple of points there, but that's not going to do anything. You've gone in there. I wonder how many batches you're going to be building. At the moment, 1.
2 points.
Yeah, but if I can build 2,
Just changing the coins up because I am rubbish at maths. So if I do this in small batches.
Not an uncommon affliction these days.
I don't think I can build 2. For the same reason, is that can't get a food. Suddenly the food has dried up.
Yeah, well, no one built this thing.
Nobody built that, and the stone building that provides all the food was that one. So yeah, interesting. I think you've sneaked a thing there. So I'm actually going to go here and give you another point, because I think that's a 3-point swing between me and you. You staying in?
Well, maybe not. Also, I think it's not useful to do it with my last guy.
Matt's here, just stopping in for a moment. Thank you very much, Matt. We're on the last round. We're almost there. Oh, he's done it.
Oh no!
Oh, but that's
no,
his last worker.
It's for you, not for me. I don't need to say oh no.
Are you done?
I'm done. I've got no workers
So you're
left.
done.
I badly
I
planned
can't
that.
drop out before you. So I'm going to have to stay in, which is fine. I've got the workers. But where I was... And you've got no workers.
Nothing.
and you're going to move it 2, and then you have no
Clearly, I'll
workers.
move it this way. But
Well, will you? No,
Maybe
you'll
not.
be moving it there, but then you'll have no workers. So as long as I've got 2, I can move it back. But I can't go there. So you've denied me out of 4 points.
And if you got the one, you have to pay another worker because I've passed.
Done that.
Oh, you've done that.
I've,
Cool.
I've spent the worker. It's
Yes,
where do
yeah.
I put this? And it's somewhere that gets me. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'm literally just doing this so that I stay in after you. Residence is not worth anything at the end. No, that's there. It absolutely doesn't matter.
I've completely messed up. I didn't put a worker there.
Did you mean to?
Yeah.
Do you have a worker?
No.
Oh dear.
Oh well, never
So
mind.
you're out. I'm out. Activation. Okay, the last set of activations.
Clobbity.
Why are you moving it
Oh,
forward?
sorry.
I was going
I'm getting too excited. It gets to here, isn't it?
it goes to there, yeah. So no workers.
No workers,
No
no anything.
workers. I spend my 2 workers on moving it
All right.
back.
What a twonk.
Right. Nothing. I get a stone. You get food.
I get a pointless food. Yep.
You get 2 points.
2 points for me, please.
I build a stone building.
Oh, I see you got the ham, but no.
You
You
got the
denied
ham.
me the ham, and then they're not
Yeah,
using it.
no, ridiculous, eh?
I build this for 6 points.
Oh,
As my architect. 6 points. Oh, I've used my last house.
I told you I was rubbish at worker placements.
Interesting. Any resource.
Which I think has to be ham, I think. So I'm ham
2 cloth for 6
2 for
points.
6. At least I
2
get
for
something out of
6.
this round.
Cloth and a food.
Does anybody
Right.
want to trade?
I get 2 stone. New trading rules.
Well, I might trade a wood for a ham.
Wood for sheep. You get 2 wood and a cloth. This one.
Mm,
2 wood and a cloth.
thank you.
And I get a wood.
I'm so disappointed in
Here
myself.
is
2 stone and
2 stone
nothing in.
and a cloth. And you get stone.
Great.
Carry on. I get gold. And then I can convert 2 things into gold. Wow. Got all of this. So I'll convert those 2 cloth into 2 gold. Right, deliveries.
1
batch,
batch.
5 points,
6 points.
6 points, and a favour. There's your 6 points. What favour would you like?
Yes, nice. I've got no workers left to do the thing, so I don't know that there's any. Well, at this stage, is there anything for resources?
Nope.
Again?
No.
Do you want me to tell you your best move?
Go on in.
Is you steal that,
Is that worth points?
because I'm about to get 2 points from it for building monuments. So that denies me 2 points.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Thank you for
That's
that.
probably your best move. Do you want to just slide it there so we can see it? Because are you right? I don't think there's anything you can do that would have got you points,
And there's nothing I can do.
but that would
because-
certainly hurt
yeah.
me. Right, we are in this bit.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody built a house.
Nope.
So we're in this bit. So I will spend
Loads.
4 stone, 3 gold, and build the cathedral. 20 points.
Yeah, that's what I got. I mean, I was
Yeah.
trying to do it myself, but yeah, I didn't. I thought maybe it was ordered in favour
Yeah.
order or something. But
You're going to build something
yes,
here?
Yes, I am. Yes. So I'm going to build 2 things, 1 on each, which is going to be a gold, a gold.
Oh, well, that's going to mess up.
thing, and a washing
Oh, I can't build another one. I was going to build one.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'll build those 2.
So you get 12 points. Oh no! In fact,
So we get
you've just stolen my
Yeah.
architect.
So you get 14.
So yeah, that was a
yeah.
really good move.
Oh yeah, excellent.
So 14, isn't it?
14 points.
14 points.
I was going to say I was going to build another one, but actually I wasn't, because I don't have any more residences. So that's that done.
Yeah.
We don't need to bother with income in the last round, or resetting the provost, but we do move the round marker on and we get 2 points for every gold. So I have
I think I'd spent those, didn't I?
3 gold.
You had spent
Yeah, I
those.
spent houses.
I get 6 points. You were spending your houses as gold. That's not right. Okay. Add up the points. If you put the points on the corner of the board, just so everybody can see them.
Mm-hmm.
My piles of points are falling over.
Right, what have we got? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 10. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It's good.
Could have been better if
good.
hadn't forgotten about my worker.
That would have won you the game.
Yeah.
I've got 85.
Would have. So it would have
Yeah.
won me the game.
I got 85.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 85.
And I've got 79. So if I'd
Yeah.
got 15, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
83.
Oh, wow, what a
Close
close
game.
game.
Good game.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. I'm really, really annoyed at myself. That's
Oh.
such a rookie move. I've been planning apart from the first round, I was like, oh no, right, I learnt in the first round, I've made a mistake with my worker, I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of the game I was really concentrating on the order and then completely forgot about putting a dude up here. Ridiculous.
There you go. And you had all the resources left.
I had all the resources. I had the resources to make 3.
Yeah. Yeah. But
But
there we go.
that's what makes this game quite fun because you're having to think ahead and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm tempted to say it's actually better than the original.
Ooh.
I think it's better than the original, and the original is one of my favourite games.
Okay.
And the reason I think that is I haven't played the original game in about 4 or 5 years. So it's a masterpiece of a game. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. But for the modern day audience,
Yeah.
it's a little bit too long, and it's a little bit too fiddly. And this doesn't have that. This plays in about half the time. I mean, we can play a game of this now in like 75 to 90 minutes. We were obviously longer for the video because we were talking about it, and we were teaching it, and we were learning it, and everything else. So it is a shorter game. It is more streamlined. And this will now get played a lot, whereas the original game was now in the category of, it's just a bit long and a bit fiddly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And what you said about a third of the way through, it captures the spirit of the original game. It's got exactly the same feel to the game as the original game had, but done in a more streamlined fashion.
Yeah, because obviously I haven't played the original, but this is a really, I'm a big fan of worker placements, even though I'm quite bad at them. And this is a really unique take because you've got a bit of being able to do each other over, and there's a little bit of peril with the going towards and getting the more decent things over here.
I mean, in a way, this is old school worker placement.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, one worker per space, full stop. No kicking out, no special, none of that. But the provost is what makes this game.
Yeah, he definitely adds to it.
Yeah. I mean, player interaction in a Euro game is not normally there.
No.
Player interaction in a worker placement game is not normally there. But the provost is just brilliant. That's my personal feelings on it. Let's go over to the chat and see. Better than the original is bold words. Yeah, I'm going to die on a hill, I think. And I know people will disagree with me. Joe's joined at the beginning and watched at the end. Scott says, just noticed no score track. Yes. Paul Burton, not sure you like the idea of the hidden points, but definitely changes you like. Gonna have to play it yourself. Yes. Love the playmat. Can I ask where you could get something like that? Yeah, not in the UK. Well, you probably can. This is a Game Topper playmat, so stay to the end of the credits. There's a Game Topper advert at the end of it. He's making it up as he goes along. Does stealing the characters feel mean to you? This is the other good thing. When word started spreading about this game, and the fact that you could steal other characters from each other, I went, right, no, hard pass. I'm not going to play this. because the whole idea of stealing characters from another person in a Euro game, no.
Yeah.
And then I played it and I was like, this is nowhere near as harsh.
It's not mean because you have to pay to do it.
Yeah.
And you have to
I think it's necessary to be able to steal the
And,
wallet.
and,
It is.
and you've got the choice, like you're foregoing
Yeah.
being able to do something quite useful just to get your extra dude. But you're
Yeah.
a right tea leaf.
Well, you started it and then
You started it. I was quite happy with my collection, and then you.
But taking that at the end was a 3-point swing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Definitely.
Well, thank you very much for playing
It's
it.
been a pleasure.
I absolutely love this game. This is a top 5 game for me. The original was, but then dropped out because of the things I
Yeah.
mentioned. This is now top 5. Just absolutely
Yeah, I
love it.
think this is definitely going to come into my collection at some point.
Yeah.
We're a bit thin on worker placements that I would play
Yeah.
again and again. So,
And the
yeah.
variability. As
Yeah.
I say, there are 6 characters we didn't use, which for those people who are watching live, we're going to go through the other characters now, just so you see the things that could have been in the game. So we have this one. I'm going to call him Derek. He does have a name, but this means when another player uses your building, you get 2 points instead of 1. But if the thief's in the game,
Presumably.
the thief is still
Yeah.
0. This one, you can deliver batches to the castle of any 3 goods.
Oh, okay.
Could be 3 the same.
Doesn't need to have food.
No, just
That's nice as well.
three
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
This one is the night watchman. So once somebody has passed, you do not pay the extra 1 to stay in.
Yeah.
This is really nice. I had this in the very first game that I played. This is the deliveryman. The deliveryman means you permanently have an extra virtual worker here.
Oh, I could have used him. Yeah.
So you can always deliver to the castle, but you're last.
Yeah.
Okay, now you could go on one of the other spaces if you needed to. So that one's good. I like that one. This one, this is an interesting one because I thought this was really weak until somebody used it to great effect. One batch that you deliver in the castle per round, if that batch contains gold, it's worth an extra 5 points.
That does sound weak, but you were saying it isn't.
Well, only because somebody did it like 2 or 3 times in the game,
Yeah.
or maybe twice. I don't know. It's one that you would use late game because you go here,
Yeah,
you build a badge with gold,
Yeah.
and
You
you
wouldn't
get
even have gold.
you get 10
because
points.
gold is only worth 2, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's getting an extra 3 points for the gold. And this one is the bailiff.
But I'm thinking the opportunity cost where you didn't build the monument
Yeah.
because you used the gold for that.
Yeah. And the bailiff happens here. So after everybody on the bridge has had a go at moving,
You get one more move of the
the bailiff steps in and just goes, no. And
Yeah.
that is a game changer.
that
Really
is
is.
the only other time I played this is at HandyCon where I
Yeah.
played the demo, and somebody had that and it made such a difference.
Yeah.
It was so different to this game. We were constantly moving it backwards and forwards. There's a real fight between the provost and
I'm
bridge.
tempted to say that the thief shouldn't be allowed in a 3-player game.
Okay, you think the thief was
Yeah,
too...
it was too much, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it denied
One player of
a lot of points.
yeah.
A lot of points, it did.
I was kind of surprised you guys didn't nick it back.
We seem to have lost the chat. I don't know where the chat's gone. Are we still broadcasting? I think we're still broadcasting. But the chat seems to have gone. I don't know why. And it's back again. There you go. So, does stealing the characters feel mean to you is the last question we had. Anyway, thank you very much to you two for joining in. Thank you to everybody for watching live. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you to everybody who's watching the video afterwards, who isn't watching it live. And as I mentioned at the start, you can win a copy of Caylus 1303. One of my Patreon producers at the end of this month is basically going to be picked to win a copy of it. So if you like the content that I make, please check out the Patreon page and consider supporting me on there. And every month I do a giveaway, and the giveaway this month is a copy of Caylus 1303. There we go. Right.
But I'm going to be the winner because I'm a patron supporter.
You are going to be the winner.
I'm determined.
Yeah. All you need to do is hack into Google Sheets,
Yeah.
change the rand between formula to pick
you.
you.
I'll get on it this weekend.
Get on
Yeah.
it this weekend. I'm going to go for a lie down now because that was intense. It's been a long day of live streaming. We did what did we do? We did Flotilla
We did.
this
and then
afternoon. If you're interested in learning how to play Flotilla and watching a playthrough, we did that this afternoon. Then we did Fistful of Meeples, and now we've done Caylus.
Yeah.
So no disrespect to the other games, but this is
Yeah.
this is fantastic, and takes a lot out of you. Yeah. Right, let's wrap things up. Thank you everybody for joining in, and I'll see you next week for some more live streams. Cheers all.
Bye.
Bye.
Gaming Rules is proudly sponsored by Game Toppers, upgrading your gaming experience. Visit GameToppersLLC.com.